a big shout out to everyone watching LandPowerTV.
Hello and welcome. You're watching LandPowerTV, and today we are in Hertfordshire at Cereals 2024. John Deere is using Cereals 2024 as a platform to make some unveilings, to launch some products never before seen in the UK. Specifically, we've got the 5M tractor range, we've got the 6M tractor range, and we've got the S and the T series combines. I caught up with Chris Wiltshire from John Deere earlier today, and this is what he had to say about what's new at the show. So Chris, thanks for having us over here at John Deere. Tell me a little bit about what's new here at Cereals this year.
Well, welcome, Simon, to the John Deere stand. We've got lots of good news. I mean, it's a big news year for us. So we actually started rolling out some news back in February, which I'll come on to in a moment.
Right, okay.
But we also, we've taken Cereals as an opportunity to show all what we've got new this year. So we'll start first with our 5M, our new 5M, so built out of our Pune factory in India.
Right.
First one into the country. A great little livestock tractor.Maybe not what we'd normally see at Cereals, but great to see it here. New model lineup from 75 all the way up to 135 horsepower. So a great little tractor, really comfortable. And again, we can pack it with lots of features like integrated auto track into the front dashboard. So again, real nice little tractor for us.
So this is the new upgrade, sort of a new surge forward in terms of technology and power and styling. Is that where it's at?
Absolutely, yeah, and a bit more comfort in the cab as well. So I mentioned that we started our launch journey probably back in February, we actually launched the new S combine back in the Commodity Classic in Texas. That's right. And that made a big news. So there was two key products there, the S6 combine and of course the big new 9RX that we don't have here today, but it will be coming soon. So the S series combine, which we've got on the show, so the new digital combine, which features lots of great benefits of predictive ground control. It's got the new cab, it's got new electrical architecture, so really nice combine.
So this is a combine over here.
This is the one here behind us here, yeah.
In terms of power and capability and stuff, it obviously drops behind the X
correct.
Thing. So you say cab, the technologies, it's the new digital thing, so there's a lot of new interfaces and software and all that
Absolutely.
sort of stuff.
So it takes the same cab, it takes the same digital or electrical architecture. So again, we can use all of the great features that we've seen on our X. And I don't know if you can see up towards the top of the cab up there's a couple of cameras that are forward facing on the combine, and again that's scanning the crop in front of us. So again, what we can see here is that we're actually giving us a prediction of the amount of crop that's going into the combine. And what that allows it to do is it sets its own forward speed, it controls the forward speed, so it's one less thing for the operator to do, and it's really ensuring that we're getting 100% of the capacity of that combine 100% of the time. So again, really making sure we're maximising the throughput and productivity.
And that's, of course, the styling's reverted to the X style.
Absolutely. So again, all family styling, so real family appeal or approach to our combine range.
So now we've got there's a T series over there. I'm assuming then that the T series it follows on from the S series in terms of compatibility and continuity and styling. Absolutely. And everything else.
Yeah. So again, same styling, same electrical, same cab. So if you think of maybe a more basic function combine,
right,
we have now got the industry leading cab on that combine. So as far as pure operator comfort, there will be nowhere else you'd want to be.
But sitting on a John Deere, is that what you're telling me?
That's exactly what I'm telling you.
Right. So this is the ultimate combine, ladies and gentlemen. You've heard it here on LandPowerTV from the horse's mouth, so to speak.
Well, thank you for that. I'll take that with a compliment.
But it is, so that's it. Yes, so you can see the styling. I mean, you can see that they're obviously the X9 has set the path for everything, and this is what we can expect to see now for the foreseeable.
Absolutely. So We've got a number of machines that we're running around the country this year, so contact your local dealer and maybe get to see one, and then the price list is open for a delivery into next year.
So right, so you can order one this year for delivery 2025. Does that apply to S&Ts?
S&T, yep, absolutely.
Right.
Yep.
Good, brilliant. Okay, so we'll move on
towards tractors, bit more tractor news.
Do a little bit of tractor news. So
again, it's a big tractor year for us. So 5M, but we're actually really lucky that just last week we had a dealer launch where we launched the new 6M range of tractors to our dealers. So the official launch of this is not until the end of the month, but we took it, what an opportunity. Whilst we're here at Cereals, we're doing a bit of a sneak preview of the new 6M. So of course 6M's a really key tractor for us in the UK market. It's got a great place, and we made some updates. What was that, back in 2019 was it, where we introduced the new 6120M with a little slopey nose, been hugely successful for us. But now we've taken and we've updated the rest of the range, and now we have got 17 new models in our 6M range.
17,
so we've expanded to where we were before. We've got auto power available in all models, plus other transmission options. And I think that maybe the one thing that we were maybe missing in our portfolio before in our 6M was of course 50k. So 50k available on all models as well.
So basically the new 6M is getting that a little bit closer in specification to a 6R. It's sort of moving up towards it, isn't it?
Absolutely, but you've got the beauty of you can really vary the spec. So whether it be in transmissions, whether it be in controls.
So you can go from either a no-frills 6M to a fully loaded 6M that's creeping into 6R spec.
Correct.
Right, there you go then.
So again, I think really wonderful tractor for us. That'll find a nice place in the UK and Irish market. So we're very excited to have that here, and again, more news to follow.
There's a little bit more news as well, isn't there? Because isn't there some stuff happening with the American Waterloo tractors? Yeah.
So Waterloo again, we continue to add some features there. So on our 7R, we've actually fitted a central tire inflation kit to that. So that is a field fit kit, but also we've put easy ballast on, because again today people are just getting more and more conscious of the amount of weight they're carrying and when. Yeah. And easy ballast is a great way of just adding the weight. 30 seconds job. You add it.
It's a clever idea. There's no doubt about that. Now you're saying the central tire inflation. We've been waiting for this for a long time. You say it's now an integrated system on that tractor. Or?
On a 7R, it's not. It's a field fit kit, so it's not available direct from the factory. But the good news is that you've been waiting for is that on 8R, it now is fully available. So again, great, factory fitted, fully integrated, clean, nice system, quick, simple.
Now, we've been talking about this system for a long time. I can remember seeing the pre-production prototypes up at Newark several years ago, and we were thinking, when are we ever going to see this 8R central tire integrated tire inflation? So it better be really good.
Absolutely, it is really good, so you'll be happy with that. And then of course the other big news is the success that we've seen with e-auto power has been immense. Some of the feedback that we've got, we're getting increased performance, lower fuel, in a much quieter operator experience now with an e-auto power transmission. So of course e-auto power is available on wheeled, 8R wheeled, 8R twin track, 8RX, and again just improving operator comfort. It fixed a need for us to start with, because of course we didn't have an auto power in our largest model, the 410, so it was a solution to get us to an auto power in the biggest model. But now it is just a no-brainer, and we're actually bringing it down in our model range. So an 8370 is now available with the auto power. Again, great transmission, better for the productivity, better for the operator, and
dispatchable all round.
It is, really good.
And we're saying, when are we going to see? Obviously, there's the new big giant machines that we've seen. Are we going to see any of those in the UK in the near future? Is there only a rumour?
There is. We're talking tractor-wise. The big 9RX that we launched in February. I've got one on order. It will be here next year, so we'll have to that'll be for next year's little Christmas present, right? Play with that.
You heard it here. You heard it on LandPowerTV, and you heard it from Chris Wiltshire. It will happen, folks. It will happen. Well, all it remains for you to do is to thank you very much, Chris, for spending a little bit of time with us and giving us a little whiz round here at Cereals 2024, buddy.
Thank you.
A pleasure as always.
You're always welcome.
Here at Cereals 2024, MacDon was exhibiting a swather with a 25-foot header on it, and a swather which Dave Franciosi told me has many, many uses. Tell us where, MacDon's sort of come into the market in Portugal now. Tell us where they fit in the farming machinery portfolio.
To be fair, swathing was really popular in the 1980s, and then when chemicals became cheaper and side knives became better, people went away from swathing. They just thought to desiccate the crop was easier, they were cumbersome to move, they weren't comfortable to drive. You usually sat in the hydraulic tank. It was pretty grim, to be fair. I drove one in 97 and I thought I'd done something wrong on the farm because it wasn't the most comfortable thing to drive. So yeah, MacDon started life in 1949 in Winnipeg, Manitoba. So we've been doing swathers now for 75 years. So that's where we started. We started in swathers and then moved into combine headers in 1989. So this is our heritage, basically. One of the things we're noticing now, moving into 2024, is people are looking to take more control of their harvest. And this is what this swather is. It's a management tool. It's not a harvesting tool, it's a management tool. So this allows you to set the stopwatch for your harvest, okay? It allows you to take control of your harvest on when you want it to ripen and maturity, okay? One thing that we've noticed recently is everyone thinks it's a single crop machine. It's not. We've got some of these machines doing anything up to 16 different crop varieties within the UK.
Really?
Yeah, so everyone has told us today at Cereals, oh, I don't grow rape, I don't grow much rape, I don't really need one, but the actual portfolio of crops you can put through it is huge. It's ginormous. So yeah, so that's what we've been talking about at Cereals, is to explain all the different crop options that you can do with it. One of the big things that we want to push now is swathers were always cumbersome to move. You had to have a tractor and a trailer to move them. They were very wide, there were fixed axles, where now we've got the NT5, which is a narrow transport, which is designed for Europe, completely designed for Europe. Right. So the axles slide hydraulically, so they go down to 3.4 meters for road transportation, and then they go up to, at the rear, 3.8 and 4.2 at the front. So this is done hydraulically from the cab. So, okay. Like I say, there's a lot of thought gone into this. It's yeah. Like I say, we've had 75 years of playing at it.
Well, yeah, you have. So talk us through the header on this. Now this is a 25 foot. You said on this.
Yes, this is a D2, which is the second time it's been shown in the UK. The first time was in January at another show. So this is a D2. This is the next generation of swather headers. So this is a D2 25, so 25 foot. The key thing about this header is you've got 3 delivery options. Right. So you've got side exit, center delivery, and side exit again. The side exit allows you to put 2 swaths together. Right. So if your combine capacity is good, and you want to put 2 swaths together, it's good for that. The other good thing is as well, on headland management, it's a key tool for headland management. So what you would do is you would side exit away from the hedge and bring it into the center of the field for it to dry better, away from trees and stuff like that. But then what you can also do is then side exit into the hedge, and that kind of opens up a wider area to turn. So when you're doing your long runs, you're not turning on crop.
So the drive on this thing then is from
the hydrostatic wheels.
Hydrostatic front wheels, and your rear wheels just turn. So they're casters essentially.
Yeah, there's no powered steering at the front.
So they're suspended, right?
Yes.
And they also, you said they have dampening to prevent them flapping.
Yeah, so they've got some hydraulic dampeners just to stop the old-fashioned caster wobble. Yeah. You know, if you get like a dodgy trolley,
in the supermarket,
with a dodgy wheel, so that stops it doing that, and then it basically just gives it a bit of comfort. If you've drove across this field, it's
A little bit.
Yeah, so we had a good test on Friday of how comfortable it was.
Now, the front suspended or not?
No, the front's not suspended.
The cab's not suspended?
Cab's suspended.
The cab is suspended.
Yeah.
Springs?
Yep, spring suspension.
Mechanical
yeah, and then we also
suspension.
have a very good operator seat. The buddy seat's not as comfortable as the operator seat.
Oh, I can imagine that. It's American, most American seats, really good.
And then one of the party tricks we've done as well, we've made everything accessible from the floor.
Right.
So health and safety, accessibility from the floor. So this is all the... So everything is in here, all the header drivers in here. And then when you go into road mode, you'll take these off, this off, that swings around, and then you fit the safety switch to go into road mode. So you can't accidentally go into road mode while you're driving in the field. So that's one of its party tricks. There is another party trick, which we'll show you in the cab.
All good stuff, this, isn't it?
And then I'll jump up and then we'll show you.
Oh yeah, show me this. You said it's got a. Did you say it's got a rotating cab, Dave?
Yeah. So anyone that's done swathing in the past will be able to relate to this now. It's an extremely comfort cab, air conditioning, a night light package that will literally make it not be dark. It's so bright and powerful. And then it's full kind of hydrostatic here, full control, Trimble ready, so you can use guidance on it as well. So if you're doing the long days, it's Trimble ready. But yeah, it's just comfortable, climate control, everything's touchscreen, so it's really, it's a nice place to be.
It's a nice place to be. And you say the cab spins round, so what's the benefit of having a cab spinning round?
So at the minute, we're in work mode. Okay, so this is your visual view in work mode. Okay?
Right.
So if you just step out a little bit,
right,
I'll show you road mode. Okay, so this is work mode. This is where you'll spend most of your view in the field. But then if you want to, this is road mode now.
Oh, so I see what you say. It's not actually the cab that spins round, it's the operator station.
Operator station
that spins round.
Yeah. So this is road mode. You've got that massive view, that massive bonnet.
So we were talking earlier. We were saying about it. You can not only using this for arable cropping, for combinable crops. You said it's actually a smoking machine in grassland as well.
Yeah. So we have some farmers in Denmark that use it for doing grass silage. They'll go in, they'll mow. It creates a cleaner cut than a set of mowers. Where if you look at a cut after a set of mowers, it's a rip. So if you look at the top of the plant, it's a rip, where because we're using a sickle knife, which everyone swore by early on in the farming industry, because it's a sickle knife, it's a clean cut. And that allows the crop to recover quicker and faster. So it can, given growing periods and weather, you can potentially get another cut from your fields. And also, because it's floating, it kind of follows the lay of the land. And you can also side exit, so you can, it's basically getting rid of a merger, so to speak. You can actually side exit and put two 20-foot, 25-foot swaths together. It is fitted with the ultra reliable Cummins engine.
Yeah.
Huge amount of torque, huge amount of power, whenever you need it.
4-cylinder, 175 horsepower.
175 horsepower, tier 5 compliant. It's a powerhouse. And literally, yeah, we don't actually use much power in the header. So the power's in the drive, and on hills it doesn't fade away. It's nothing. You just, yeah, you don't even know you're on a hill. It literally has got bags of power. And the reason we went with Cummins is just ultra reliability.
So Dave, these machines, yes, you can buy them. They're in the UK now. You can order them.
Yeah.
How do you sort of get a demo on one of these machines?
So this is actually not our machine. This is Malpa's Tractors. Right. So this is their demo machine for 2024. So if you're interested in looking how a MacDon can fit into your business program, give Malpa's a shout. They can have a word with you, set up a demo, bring it down, and you'll be surprised at what it can do. Just put your seatbelt on because it goes pretty fast in the field.
You heard it here on LandPowerTV.
Yeah.
From Dave. Thank you very much for talking to me. Absolute pleasure, sir.
If you want to get on one of these.
You heard it here first. Claydon is recognised as one of the pioneers of direct tine seed drilling. I spoke to David Ferber earlier today and he told me a little bit about what's new on the Claydon stand this year. David, thank you very much for having us over at Claydon today.
Yeah,
tell me, what's the latest and the greatest from the Claydon Drilling Company?
Yeah, great to see you, Simon. Yeah, the latest and greatest from the Claydon Drilling Company is our Evolution front hopper and our Evolution toolbar drill. So we're offering more flexibility by having a front hopper and a toolbar drill on the back, so we can benefit from weight distribution, splitting the weight distribution, and get wider widths with multi-crop capability, or multi-hopper capability, should I say. I mean, traditionally, if you see here, this is our front hopper. It's a 2,700 litre front hopper. It's got twin metering systems on it, and traditionally that would be used for grain and fertiliser. But I mean, today, of course, we can use it for grain and fertiliser, or we can use it for drilling two different crops together, companion seeding, or
I was going to say companion seeding.
Our philosophy was, look, today people are talking about capacity, drilling capacity, output. So we went for the large hopper. We've got cameras on the front of it as well for visibility on the road and pulling out at junctions. And then obviously a compact hopper, as you see there, with the hitch frame on the rear here. And also you've got as an option, we've also got these packer wheels, so that today we're looking at compaction, reducing compaction, so spreading the load between the tractor and the hopper wheels, the wheels on the front to spread the load. They are steering and following, so they will follow the direction of travel, basically.
Right.
Now, if you go in looking at the metering system, it's a pressure-based system, pressure-based metering system, because we want to transfer large volumes of seed or fertiliser to the rear drill toolbar. And if we go round to the front, you'll actually see that we've got two distribution pipes. So from the distribution pipes, we can now have a selector box, and we can, from here, we can actually distribute the metering unit to one pipe or the other pipe. So we can distribute to two pipes, so one conventionally going for seed and one conventionally going for fertiliser. Or if you want to mix the two outputs of the metering units together, you can distribute both outputs to one pipe, basically.
Okay. So this is designed specifically then to work with the toolbar over here.
Yeah, so it's designed specifically to work with our new toolbar range. So our Evolution toolbar range. The Evolution toolbar range goes from 3 metres to 6 metres, and we have 4 metre folding, 4 metre rigid, not so popular in the UK market. And then we also have, from the folding, we have 4.5, 4.8, 5 metres and 6 metres. So you can really either match your tramline widths if you want to tramline, or your horsepower requirements to your maximum output of your drill toolbar.
Right, no kidding. So, okay, let's have a little look. So what are the features of the toolbar? What specifically, obviously this is a Claydon design, based on what are the features that, your Claydon customers going to like about it, and what are the features that might bring a new customer to the table?
Yeah, so the toolbar has all the characteristics of a Claydon Evolution drill. So at the heart of the drill system, the Evolution, the Claydon system, we have the leading tine. So the leading tine removes compaction, creates a slot in the ground, some fissures in the soil for the A-share on the rear to put a band of seed. It's a 7-inch A-share, putting roughly a 6-inch band of seed, putting the seed on both shelves, allowing good germination in a friable soil condition. And so there's 2 rows, a front row of leading tines, a rear row of leading tines, with your seeding zones roughly spaced around 330 mil. Row spacing. As I said, with 150 mil seed spacing, basically. So that's the main feature of it. Also, it incorporates our front cutting discs. So if you're working in trashy conditions, in cover crops, you can cut through those trashy conditions with the leading cutting discs to ensure a better flow of material through the actual drill itself. And your cutting discs are, the pressure's maintained in there through an accumulator, a gas accumulator, which you'll be able to see in the centre of the drill. You'll see here it's got the 2 distribution heads, so one for the seed and one for the fertiliser. Of course, there's many options on there. This has just commonly got the tram lining on, but you can have seed monitoring on there as well.
In terms of tram lining control, isobus control, you know, or section control, have we got all these? Is this compatible with all of those through different systems, or what, how's that working?
Yeah, the drill actually comes with a control box. It's isobus compatible,
right?
So you can get an isobus lead and connect it into your isobus of your tractor. So it's all compatible and will work on any ISO terminal in a cab,
right?
And display all the drill features. And then subject to you having all your, if you want to do section control, which is the main on-off actually, so it's a total drill on-off, or variable rate, as long as you've got the license keys applicable to your control, then you can do that.
Right.
So yeah, it's all isobus compatible and simple calibration procedures.
And actually, when you look at it, it is a very simple tool.
Yeah.
It's a simple tool.
It's a simple drill. I mean, it's you know, for direct drilling, the no-till farming incentive. With this drill, you can save against a min-till system around 40% of your costs and 40% of your time. So you can get on, take the correct weather windows to do that drilling. I mean, as part of the Claydon OptiTill system, we would recommend the straw harrow operation in front. You know, to deal with residues, any weed seeds, help reduce your slug burden.
Well, I'll tell you what, I mean, for me, it's Claydon keeps moving forward. I've been following Claydon. You know, I've interviewed the Claydon family over the years, and I think it's a great company. It's flying the British flag high. I was driving recently in Germany, and I followed a truck, and on the back of it was Claydon drills, and I thought, well, if that ain't flying the British flag, I don't know what is.
It's great.
David, good to see you. Thank you so much for showing us around this new bit of equipment. And, well, we'll have a little bit look at what else is going on here. Last year at Agritechnica, LandPowerTV gave all of you a preview of the brand new Holland CR11 combine. Well, now here at Cereals 2024, we're going to give you a preview of the brand new CR10 combine. So we are here on the New Holland stand, and with me I have Stephen Lucknan, who's going to tell us all about the latest New Holland CR10 combine. Steve,
how we doing?
Doing good, sir. Tell us a little bit about this combine, mate.
So just a little bit first is we're doing the official global launch of the CR10 here at Cereals this year.
So this is the first time anybody's seen it?
Yeah, this is the first time anyone's seen it. Panels opened, everything is on show.
So it's very exciting. So we saw the CR11 at Agritechnica, and so this is it. So this is a UK premiere.
Yes.
Right, so let's just start off a little bit. You say you want to start around the front?
Yeah, fine, wherever. So a lot of it is very similar to what you would have seen on the CR11. Same chassis, everything is the same that way. A few bits different and power-wise and stuff like that, as making them different. So the CR11 is 775 horsepower and this is 650. Constant power, no boost. It's always in power. We have 210 litres a second on load and auger, 16,000 litre grain tank on this. We also have 24-inch rotors, the predecessor to our 22-inch rotors, which we have in our current gen CR10.90. Today we have a 41-foot MacDon on the front of it, and that's what we kind of would advise for something of this size, to keep it fed and keep it chomping away.
Keep it chomping, keep it moving. So this is a replacement for the CR1090 that's out there now.
The current generation.
And that, so in terms of that, so this adopts the CR11 chassis.
Yes.
I assume that the electrical platform and all this technology comes with this one, yeah?
All the cab architecture is the exact same as the CR11, so our IntelliView 12s in the cab. Armrest is the same, cab is the same. There's 7,500 parts in a CR combine and 7,000 parts is brand new in this. So it's a fresh sheet, built from the ground up. Been in development for a long time now, and it's actually nice to get around to unveiling it to people and see what people think.
Now this is a big deal, possibly more so than the CR11 in the UK, because this is this is your big bread and butter, big combine. I
Yeah.
don't say bread and butter,
Yeah.
but certainly your big seller in terms of high capacity combines.
Yes.
So the fact that it's here today. What else have we got here that's a little bit new? I mean, you said that it's gone with larger rotors on this one.
Yeah, so our drive is completely different now as well. So we're using our rotor as a drive shaft. We've had a drive shaft going down the middle of the combine for years, and we're using our rotor now as a drive shaft instead of running drive down the side of the combine. When you see the side of the combine, it's just so plain. There's barely anything to even look after.
It's actually very much like the CR11 in terms of there is so little moving parts
Yeah.
to see. It's all sort of very, very simple, isn't it?
Yeah.
Although it's not simple by any means. But
Adds a little. It's not really that complex. Everything is simple enough. But starting at the front, we have the feeder housing, which is the same width as the rotors now. So it's 48 inches wide at the front, and back into a DFR, a dynamic feed roll, and then we're feeding the crop into two 24-inch rotors, and then we have a different cleaning system in this. So we're now on a closed loop logic, as we call it. So there's pressure sensors on all corners of each sieve, and they can determine the weight of the grain, and then we can compensate for that when we're working in the field on side slopes. And we've also went away from the double returns. We're going to a single return on one side, and by using the single return, we now can, with the closed loop logic together, we can load the clean and shoe level the whole time, always getting maximum capacity, and each sieve can move independently, so they're not all shaking the same way. They can move different ways to allow for it. The back sieve can be moving left and the front sieve can be moving right, depending on the way it's coming out of the returns.
so how does it monitor that then? As it's
There's pressure sensors in each corner of each
that's what
sieve.
you, right. That's what you were talking about.
Yeah.
Okay, now I get you. I now get where
Yeah.
you're at.
So that's the whole closed loop logic, that once you've IntelliSense activated, which we've had IntelliSense for a few years now, there's once the combine is set up and going, there's nothing to worry about. It takes the operator skill level out of it completely. You can read the newspaper and
But just don't drive into anything.
No, don't drive into it. You don't even have to turn it around anymore. It'll turn around itself also. So you can see here the size of the clean grain elevator. It's massive. It is big. We have an NIR sensor on this, so we can read the protein in grain and all that, bringing in that technology side of stuff. So our straw choppers also changed. You'll see that at the back you'll see these little white sensors. They're radar sensors, so they're able to read the crop or read the residue coming out the back of the machine, and they can then vary the spread pattern to have an even spread across the whole whatever width of the header, so that you'd have an even spread across your 41-foot header here. The biggest thing about the CR10 and the CR11 is keeping them full, keeping them under maximum capacity, get the maximum throughput the whole time. Because as you probably know, we use crop-on-crop threshing, so we're using the crop to thresh against each other, so we can have better straw quality out the back. You'll also notice on the rotors we have now a little bit of a step in the rotors, so we keep everything tight at the front of the rotor, and then we expand it out, and then we're able to get all the grain out, and we're able to get down to this zero loss that we're talking about.
So is this available now? Is it available for order now?
It will be available at the end of this year for order.
So you order for delivery in 25?
Yes, yeah. CR11 and CR10.
Available with tracks and wheels?
Yeah, probably tracks only for the UK market. As you know, when you have such a big header, you're trying to keep the combine stable
and you're staying with the MacDon recommendation?
I'm not fully yes, the MacDon is probably the perfect fit for the job, but we still have our VariFeed. So if you want a fixed table, we can still get you a VariFeed or sell a VariFeed. You'll notice a few things have changed on the front. Your front face adjustment rams is now underneath on the front, where they used to be on top, to get your front face pivot.
Right.
It's handy for cutting laid crops if you have a VariFeed on. But with the front plate adjustment on the MacDon, you don't really need the front face adjustment on the combine.
Right.
So it just brings that back a little bit. But everything is very similar from the CR11. No real daily maintenance. Blow it down, fill it with diesel, go.
So here we go. 7,500 parts in a CR combine. 7,000 of them are new.
Yep.
This is the CR10, folks. The latest and the greatest for the UK, arguably.
Yeah.
You've seen it first here on LandPowerTV. My friend, thank you very much for showing us around.
Thank you.
And let's see what
Hopefully we'll
else.
see you in the field.
Yeah, you may see us in the field. You may see us in the field. I hope so. I'm going to hold you to that.
Yeah.
Let's see what else they've got here at Cereals 2024. Grange Machinery Limited has used Cereals 2024 as a platform to introduce their new Tine-Drill toolbar. I spoke to Roon Jones earlier today, who had this to say about the new machine. Tell me what we've got here, and let's have a little look, and tell me why somebody would want to buy it, and all of those other fascinating questions.
Right, yeah, no problem. Okay, well, we've got a few different products on the stand today. We've specifically bought the 6-metre Tine-Drill toolbar to the show and actually had a product launch of that yesterday. So we had a big tarpaulin, and we luckily got that off at 11 to showcase.
This is the very first time the public's seen it. That's
Absolutely,
good to know.
Yeah. So we've used Cereals as a good platform to launch the product. It's something we've been working on for the last sort of 3 to 4 years, if I'm honest. In the background, we've been pretty secretive about it. Yeah, we've got to a stage now where we feel we've got a good system that wants to be advertised and offered out a bit further. So 3-point link mounted, rear mounted Tine-Drill is what we've gone with. We have some specific features within this, so you'll probably see in the middle here, we've got a subframe, a carrying frame over the top of the wing on each side. This actually allows the wing to pivot side to side, so we've got some flotation, we've got contouring in here and allows the wings to float. We've got approximately 10 degree, 5 degree positive, negative either way. We've then got sort of starting front backwards really, eradicator tines on here to take the wheeling out. We've got over 4-row system, so we have 2 front rows which are at 250 centres, and we're working with Borgalt tillage, so we're working with both Ian and Stuart there from the Borgalt tillage tools down in, and so we've gone with a 4-inch paired row with seed and fert on this particular model here. We can do seed only if need be, not an issue. Seed depth is controlled on hydraulic land wheels, 4 of them, 2 on each wing, to just maximise that contour following, so we get real good accurate seed placement across the full width of the machine. Okay, and then what we've also made sure of from a frame point of view is that we've got a calming resting area for trash here in the middle, so that's something we really were focused on, that we get real good trash flow through the actual machine itself. Obviously we're going into more and more cover cropping, thicker residues, all of this sort of stuff, so going forward the drill obviously needs to be able to be future proof, not just into let's more call it a min-till conventional method as well.
So now, obviously, a machine like this, it requires a front-mounted hopper.
It does, yep.
And so we've got a front-mounted hopper for this particular drill.
Yeah, with this particular unit here, we haven't got one on the stand, but with this particular unit, this one's actually going to be partnered up with the Horsch Partner front tank.
Right.
Okay, so that's a seed and fert tank at the front there. That's going to be blowing it back. We've then got the distribution heads on there, so seed on the first one at the front, and then the fertiliser on the back, and they're then routing straight down into the actual coulter itself. Can you combination seed, or is it seed and fert only? Seed and fert, well, it's a seed and fert option is this one, and if it's seed only, then all we'll then do is basically take the second distribution off, and there'll just be one on there. Right. Okay, so what we have made sure is on the frame behind each of the land wheel, we've got at least, well, there's always 2 tines, so we're taking that wheeling out whilst we're drilling, leaving really quite a nice clean finish across the field. And lastly really is then our rear double harrow on the back here, so we've just tried to give as much flexibility and options really going into different cultivation, be it direct drilling into stubble, so we get a different finish on the back with the Z-tine harrow is what we've chosen to go with as well. So we've depth settings as well as then pitch setting for the actual harrow itself. On this particular unit, the customer that this is going to, they've asked for the slug pellet or Avadex bar at the back as well. So this is just an optional extra that we can put with the machine. So a rear access platform so we can get up there. And really this now becomes more of a one-pass drilling system. Really. And so what sort of price range are we talking on a machine? I feel like this one standing in front of me. What are you sort of looking at? This unit in front, like I say, we can actually build this or scale it back as much as we want really. And a lot of the choice is down to the end user as to the type of front tank and metering unit they want to use. and therefore that sort of dictates what we then put on the drill as well.
Right, because that was going to be my next question, is
Sure.
can you use it with other tanks or
Yeah,
another
yeah,
metering
absolutely, and
unit?
we're really quite open and want to work with mainstream manufacturers that are offering the tanks and the metering unit. In all fairness to them, they've done a lot of the hard work in getting that right and the technology in there. We're going to try and stick to what we do well, and that is building strong product that's soil engaging at the end of the day. In between us, I think we can really offer something pretty special.
Good. Mr. Jones,
Thank you very much for coming to see us
very much for telling us all about it, and well, we'll catch you at another show or an event somewhere very soon, I'm sure.
Enjoy the rest of your day.
Thank you, sir.
Cheers.
So I'm joined today by Ed Dennett from Fendt, who's going to talk to me a little bit about, well, it's something we've seen before when with Agritechnica and in the media and everything else, but we've not actually seen one of these before in the UK. It's the Fendt 600 Vario tractor.
It is, yeah, Fendt 600 Vario. So after all that brouhaha last year, September, October, November, we are the kings of the slow burn launch.
Yes, you are.
Finally, it's box fresh here, straight off the boat, and yeah, here it is. So we're really proud to have it here. It's obviously 620 Profi Plus, and yeah, here in the UK, doing a few shows here, and then we should be launching into production machines in due course. So yeah, lots of interest in the machine. Completely brand new in this size class, really. So if any of you old Fendt fans out there remember the 820, a very similar size to that.
Yeah.
A little bit smaller than the 700 Gen 7 that we Gen 6, sorry, that we do at the moment. And sort of sits between 500 series and 700 Gen 7. So 4 models in the range, 614, 616, 618, 620, from 140 horsepower up to 220 with dynamic performance.
Right. So you say is it an all new platform?
Yeah, so basically it's an all new platform in terms of using the Vario drive transmission for the first time. And also now we use Agco Power's brand new Core 50 engine, so that's a 4-cylinder version of the Core 75 engine that we've got in our 700 Gen 7. Yeah. So and again, the benefits of Vario drive, we're independently driving the front axle, so we get a pull-in turn effect, which should mean we can pull the machine round, get a tighter turn, and also we're getting better performance traction in the field. So reduced tyre wear, less compaction, more output, etc. So yeah.
So it's essentially then what we're saying now at the moment is there was that popular 820.
Yeah.
Then it's sort of the 700 Vario sort of really took over from that.
Yeah,
didn't they,
724 really. Yeah.
And then so now this is the greatest.
Well,
in terms of that performance, bang for the buck performance package.
Yeah, and I think to be honest, we noticed that it's so manoeuvrable, and actually maybe there's people out there where 220 horsepower would be perfectly fine for them, to be honest. So I think it's going to be really a good seller for us. A lot of positive comments from people. The last 2 days here at Cereals has been really, really positive, and I can't wait to see it in the field. Really.
Well, it's one of those tractors again. There's been so much hype on it, like you said, and we are looking for it. We are looking forward to seeing it, and suddenly here's one. Of course, you're going to get it. I mean, Fendt's a significant brand, isn't it?
Yeah, and I think as well a lot of the trickle down of technology from the 1050 from sort of 2015, 2016 has trickled down onto this. Things like Vario grip at this level. That's unique in the industry at this horsepower sector. Vario drive transmission. No one really else is offering anything like that in this sector. The brilliant cab that we've got on the 700 series at the moment that a lot of people love. Great comfort. I think it's a real great package in really what is the most popular sector, if you like, in the market. So yeah, I think it's like all these things. The proof of the pudding will be in the trying it in the field.
Yeah. Well,
I'm pretty confident, to be honest with you. Well, very confident.
Well, of course you are, because obviously Fendt hasn't just put it out here and gone, oh, here's a new tractor. It's obviously had a lot of trials, a lot of testing, and obviously they're very pleased with it, I would imagine.
Well, yeah, and I mean the DLG tests, power mix tests that were carried out on the 700 Gen 7 last year. And the engineers were saying, if the results of that are good, then the results of this will be good, and they were phenomenal. That tractor, 700 Gen 7, has the best results ever in the DLG power mix of that horsepower sector. So we're expecting or hoping for similar results on the 600 series as well. So yeah, really, I think, you know, we use this expression game changer, but I think in this sector really
it's taking things up a level.
Yeah, I think so.
Bringing it along, you know, to the next step.
Yeah, exactly. So.
The next step. Is it available now? Can we order one now?
In terms of availability, this is a pre-production machine, so we'll be doing shows and events this summer. We should have a couple of production units coming in July, which will be our demonstration machines, and then dealer units that start to be built from when production resumes after shutdown in September. So we should start seeing stuff in the field for you know, autumn cultivations this year.
So if people are ordering this year, they're going to get one next year.
Yeah, I mean, there's a few forward orders that are coming in. We have done a few retails already, but the machine's available, pricing's available. So, you know, if you're interested, please speak to your local dealer, and yeah, we can get one to a field near you very soon, hopefully.
Well, you heard it on LandPowerTV. You can now order a new 600 Vario from Fendt. And that's saying something, because we've been waiting for it a long time. Ed, thank you so much, Simon, for walking around that tractor with us. And let's find out what else is at this show. So Julian, what is it we're going to be looking at today here at Kuhn?
Today we're going to now just look around the Optimer here. The Optimer is our disc machine here, working from anything from 3 to, as the machine we have here today at cereals, at 12.5 metres. So if we have a bit of a look around this thing. So this machine primarily has now been sold to a lot of direct drill users to try and create that little bit of tilt ahead of their direct drill. And especially we've seen it this spring, where the ground conditions have been a lot firmer, very tight top, 2 inches due to obviously the rain, and this is where this tool really has shown that it's helping with the direct drill market. So if we look at this machine here particularly, so we do 2 models. We do an L and an XL. So the L series uses 510mm discs, either with a small notch or a standard notch disc, as this configuration is here. The small notch is a good disc if you're looking just purely to do the 1 inch and 1 inch only in front of your direct drill, but if you need to go for any depth and pressure per square inch is vital, then we have this larger notch disc to go on there. So if you look at this machine, this one is your L 12,500, so it's 12.5 metre set disc. This is for controlled traffic. So you will be setting your tractor up, your GPS at 12.4 metres. The only other difference between this is we also offer the option of the XLs. The XLs being a heavier duty, and then that runs at us with a 620mm disc. So for those farmers who want to work down to a deeper depth, or actually are on some very heavy clay. So we can go with, on the front, we can either go with front leveling boards, okay, or we can go with a crimper for our cover cropping.
Okay.
So, and then on the rear rollers, in this particular case here, this set here is with the double U roller. So the soil-on-soil contact, so the wear is not on the actual metal itself. The soil builds up within the D-ring, and then the allows then just pure soil-on-soil, so reducing your wear factor there. If this is not the ring for you, then we have the HD Packer, which is a conventional single-ringed roller, which you can have them for overwintering and also for perhaps stonier areas. One thing that we get comments about, and we've heard it here today at Cereals, is that they never realised that Kuhn made large arable equipment. So here we have today is our 9 metre Prolander, which is our 9 metre spring-time cultivator, which is a machine that's aimed at germination, literally just following the combine. You want to create a chit, then this is the machine for that. Or, as we've seen it a lot, we've used it this year in the spring, is for getting aeration back into the ground. So this machine here is from 3 metres up to 14 metres. But the one we're showing at Cereals today is 9 metres. Again, W roller, because we're looking for a machine to do presentation in front of a drill. So therefore, this gives a lovely finish of 1.5 inches of consolidation ahead of the drill. And then the tines, we have the 60mm reversible point tine, and this is a really good general purpose tine to get in, certainly with the spring, to do some aerating, working this machine at 2-3 inches. We're not looking to go particularly deep, just enough to either create some, as we have done this year, just put some air back into the ground and get it to dry out, or just run over ploughed ground just to do some levelling off. And an option would be a levelling board. This machine today doesn't have a levelling board, but we can fit the levelling board onto the front for those plough conditions. We run 2 tines. We run a 70mm by 12mm thick tine, or a 90 by 13 for those heavy clay areas. And we're finding that this is something that is definitely being talked about, and I think we'll probably see it now again as a chitting tool, trying to prevent them build into the blackgrass treatment.
But we said earlier about, you don't sort of associate Kuhn with, big, large-scale arable equipment, but here it is, isn't it? I mean, these two machines are positively
exactly
huge.
Right. You're exactly right. So we've taken some farmers now over to Hungary last year to show them a fleet of the larger machinery working, arable machinery working in the field, and every one of them commented. And again, this we've heard it today here, that they didn't realise Kuhn made large arable machinery. Well, we'd like to show that today, yes, we do make it. So come and have a look, really.
Yeah, exactly. You never know. And as we always see, when we visit the Kuhn stand, there's always a plethora of different, types of equipment. And this is just another thing in the portfolio, like you said, that perhaps we all didn't really know about. Thank you ever so much for showing us around, Julian. It's been really, really nice to drop by and see. I'm sure we'll see you.
Thanks for your time.
Later in the year, mate. Case IH baler customers may already be familiar with the LB436 heavy duty. The baler is a serious high output machine which has been in the country now about 4 years. But now there's been a little bit of a progression with this particular machine because there's some new technology involved. Now the man who's going to talk to me about it is Cian O'Leary, who works for Case IH. Cian, hello, and how are you, sir?
I'm very well, thank you.
Tell me a little bit about what is it that we're talking about, this amazing technology?
So what we're going to be looking at today, the new thing we've just launched, is this LiDAR system. So we're going to have a look at it, we'll have a look around it, see what the benefits are, how it's going to benefit us, the customer and everybody else in the meantime, and ultimately obviously output. But yeah, let's
just have a little look at it.
So the first thing you're going to notice is around the front of the tractor up on the roof. Okay, so we'll just head around the front of the tractor. Up on the roof you'll see there's a little kit that's been applied to it. This is what we call a DIA kit, so a dealer installed basically. But you can see that what that's doing up there is it's basically just a laser system, and it's just emitting pulses of laser, right? And you wonder how is pulses of laser going to pick up a crop? Well, it basically operates then by the laser goes down, detects what's in front of it. So whether it be the crop, in a sense that the height of the crop, if it sees a lump coming, it'll slow the tractor down. So obviously it doesn't feed it too quickly into the baler. If it sees that there's not much crop in front of it, it'll let the baler go on. You can set the parameters of that as well.
So essentially what you're saying is this is a system that drives the tractor. It takes over the control of forward speed and the control of the tractor.
Exactly.
And it does that to keep, to optimise input?
Yeah.
Or?
So with the HD baler, with the high density baler, what we're aiming to do and what a customer's aiming to do with making an investment like this in a baler, they want to keep, it's there for output. That's what the baler is designed for, it's designed for output. How do you achieve maximum output? You maintain constant fill basically. And yeah, so this baler basically what it does, or the LiDAR system, LiDAR system will dictate your forward speed but also do your lefts and rights. So it can do curves as you go down a swat.
Really?
Right, so it will follow the swat as you go down. So for the likes of a contractor, does not have the customer's field maps, but they still have the straw in the field. They no longer need to try to do A/B lines or anything like that. They can just send it straight into the field and it'll follow the swat straight down the field. So main purpose of that then is as well, so it'll make sure that the swat is in the center of the pickup. With the swat being in the center of the pickup, it makes for even bales. At the same time, I say even bales, even square bales, proper square bales. but at the same time, it's obviously also doing your forward speed. Whilst doing your forward speed, achieving maximum capacity.
Now, in terms of things like moisture and stuff like that, is there any control over that? Can the baler identify if it's dealing with damp straw?
Yeah, 100%. So the baler has 2 moisture pads fitted about just halfway back the chamber, and that can be fed into the actual ice bus screen as well. And there can be an alarm set for that as well. So if you want a maximum moisture of whatever it might be, 12, 13, 14%, depending on what you're baling, of course, it is no problem whatsoever. You can set an alarm, so as soon as it goes over that, as soon as it takes higher than that, it'll beep at you, you know when to stop. So there is any amount of features. That feature is available on the baler itself. You do not need the LiDAR system.
So now the LiDAR system,
yeah.
So that basically is controlling the forward speed depending on the density and the conditions of the crop, etc., etc. How's that controlled? Is that done through the in-cab monitor, or is it an additional monitor? How does that work?
No, so it comes through the actual in-cab monitor itself. So done through the in-cab monitor, and just sees which way the so it would basically follow like a GPS screen basically. But yeah, so it's done through the in-cab monitor, so no extra monitors needed, nothing mad like that.
So later this year, then we can hope to see, perhaps even hope to see you using it. Maybe have a demonstration with this to see, because you'll be able to establish your own facts and figures. I hope.
Yeah, 100%. So definitely, yeah. So the plan is that obviously this unit, as you see it right now, is going to be out in the field over the coming few weeks and months, and we're going to have it, running. And let's see. We'll hopefully get the numbers for you then.
Good. Oh, good. Well, it sounds exactly like a plan. Well, yet another thing I found today here. More improvements, more technology. Everything is about technology and electronics. Nothing actually changes the way the baler actually works, but it's how it's controlled that makes a difference.
That's always evolving, isn't it?
Cian, thank you very much indeed,
problem.
sir. We'll see you again.
See you.
So Paul, tell us about this grass harrow that's new from Lemken.
Yeah, so Thulit weed harrow. So we launched it late last year at Agritechnica. First one in the country. So available as a 6 and a 9 metre machine at the moment. I suspect that wider widths to follow in time. But yeah, some unique parts about it that we'll show you now. So we've got 4 bars across the machine. 4 bars that hold sort of 2 pairs of tines. So in effect, we've got a row of 8 tines through the machine. So we're doing that to get maximum space. The tines are actually spaced, they're 31.5mm spacing as we go through the whole of the machine. But what we've got is great clearance under the blue frame for tall crop. So if we're going through maize, say, or some other cereal crops, we've got plenty of clearance to get crop through the machine. One of the real innovations of this machine is how we pressurise the harrows. So each harrow is individually pressurised along the front here on a hydraulic bank. So every harrow has its own hydraulic ram.
That is,
that's
quite unique.
It's quite a piece of engineering. So so the beauty of that, a couple of things really. So one of them is that we can actually pressurise. We pressurise each harrow from 5 grams to 5,000 grams to 5 kilos. But the beauty of pressurising each harrow with its own hydraulic cylinder is that if we go through a crop, say potatoes, we can have the same pressure on the harrow on the top of the potato row as in the bottom of the wheeling. So we've got pressure across the actual soil, across the ridge of the potato, at exactly the same pressure. You'll see then from the ram, we've obviously then got the silver rod that comes to the red harrow itself.
I'm going to ask you an obvious question now with this. You, in terms of maintenance, I assume that's just like a bank?
Yeah, it's a hydraulic bank. Yeah, it's a block. Yeah, so it's sealed. So as we pressurise up, we have a control box in the cab. I think it's on the headstock. Control box in the cab. Load sensing hydraulics. We can run it on a twin spool, but load sensing is best. So we feed with oil. We can then dial up the pressure. So we can have it from that 5 grams to 5,000 grams of pressure on the actual tine, and we can do that from the cab.
Right, that's cool. So the tine's exclusive to this particular model?
Yes, they are. They're sort of designed. They're exclusive to us. We work them through with our system, and then you'll see also we've got these black clips. So each tine is then held on. We've got the silver bar that comes from the ram, and then at each end of this silver bar is a black clip. So that black clip is there. We can keep everything in line. If anything fails, we then keep hold of the harrow from both ends. To make again dismantling. If we need to change a tine, if we need to change a clip, or if a bar gets damaged, everything is very simple, very easy to change. So on a 9 metre machine, obviously we're out at a good width. I think we will have wider widths to follow in time, but obviously we need to keep the machine stable. It's obviously fully mounted on the tractor, but yeah, so we've then got a list of options of wheel arrangements. So again, if you're working in cereals or if you're working in row crops, so you need to get wheels in beds. So we offer, 2 wheels in the middle at the front, 2 at the back, and then 2 on the outer wings. And again, width adjustable, height adjustable, depending on the crop that you're harrowing.
These are the front ones. They're all mechanically adjustable.
Just mechanical depth, and then we just put the width out to whatever we're doing. So we were working last week in a potato crop. So we had them all right running in the wheelings. So no, it worked really well. Fully mounted, as I said, and then hydraulically folding. And then as we fold up, it puts into a transport position again, done from the box in the cab. So all the harrows fold up flat. So all the rams come right out to their full extension and fold the harrows up for transport. So she's all nice and snug when she's folded up.
And what sort of horsepower are you looking at a machine like this?
So again, I mean, the reason for having the wheels to run is not big horsepower. So small tractors can lift it. The oil use is minimal. Load sensing is an advantage, but not necessary. But yeah, 100 horsepower tractor, if it can lift it, then it's doing it. And once it's down on the ground, it's down on the wheels. So there's no requirement once the machine's in work.
It's not a heavy draft requirement.
No, not at all. Not at all.
So you're aiming this at different. Obviously, it's a multi-tool really. You can use it for lots of different applications.
It really is. So I mean, we've got grassland farmers that are talking about using it. We're then talking to a conventional cereal farmer, but root crop growers, vegetable growers. So sort of transplanted brassicas, any of the transplant crops. So a real wide range.
Is it available now?
It is. Yeah.
Excuse me, excuse me, everybody. I do sincerely apologise. If it's not been the loudspeakers today, it's been the pollen. Let me tell you. Anyway, Paul, thank you ever so much for showing us around here. Have you been a good show?
Yeah, no, it's been good. It's been a good couple of days. Yeah,
right, good.
Yeah,
my friend.
Thank you
very
much.
Simon.
Well done.
Ta.